Hello, LegendAqua here. It's been a very long time since I did a tier list, and it's time to do it on my favorite animes of spring 2021. I hope this is going to be a short tier list. Okay, so the first one on the list is Boku no Hero Academia 5th season. This is obviously going to have another cur. So this is only going to be the first half I'll be talking about, and more or less it had a tournament arc between Class A and Class B. We finally got something towards the end of the tournament arc, and from that, we're finally getting to a new arc that's featuring Endeavor's work agency. So, from all that, I'll give it a B for now. The tournament arc did elongate the entire thing, but for what it gave us, it was decent, but we will see in the second half what the big payoff will be for this season. Next up, Nagatoro-san, or Don't Toy With Me, Nagatoro-san. Yes, I'm putting that as S. So, in terms of first episode impressions, it was kind of bad, mainly because Nagatoro teased Senpai far too intensively, but let's just say as the episodes went on, it actually got really good, namely because of Nagatoro and Senpai's relationship, oddly enough. And through that, I actually very much liked it, like a lot. I can't lie about that. And although I'll say that, like, the spectrum of the teasing girl animes, it's like Uzaki's in the middle, Takagi-san is in one side, and Nagatoro is in the other. Although, again, Nagatoro's teasing is kind of intense, it does simmer down, and again, they look more into Senpai and Nagatoro's relationship from there on, and that's what hooked me pretty quickly, to be honest. So, easy yes. Next up, so I took in a stowaway and shaved my beard, I believe, or shaved my mustache, I believe. It was a very long title one. This is one of the more controversial animes of this season, namely because, a salaryman takes in a underage teenager. However, I'll say that the main character, the main guy who takes in the underage teenager, is still a good guy. He is, like, 100% the good guy within all this. It's just everything that involves the underage teenager, however, is where most of the controversies comes from. And even then, I don't really hear much controversies about this anime. Mainly just about that a lot of the people who watched the first episode, this was one of the animes that a lot of people watched. And through all that, I'll say that the resolution towards most of the characters, actually, it's just mainly the salaryman's development, as well as the underage teenager, Sayu. Her tragic backstory finally gets told to us, and we obviously sympathize with her a lot, and it gets resolved, more or less. And don't worry, as I said, main character is a good guy. Nothing etchy happens. So, because of that, easy A. It also doubles as a drama anime, so even then, from the drama perspective, yes, it is actually pretty good. Next up is Combatants Must Be Dispatched. I'm putting this as a C, even though, yes, this is penned by the same author as Konosuba. If I had to compare towards Konosuba and this, Konosuba still wins out. Combatants, I'll say, setting-wise, it is kind of different. Namely because, the main bad characters are from a technological Earth who gets dumped into a medieval isekai world and they have to take it over. But they are so incompetent in being bad guys that they pretty much become heroes at the end. And obviously, the main characters brings in some incompetent incompetent characters along with them to form the party similar to Konosuba, and hilarity, actually vulgar hilarity ensues. Even then, I'm not saying I don't like Combatants Must Be Dispatched because of its vulgar humor. Actually, the vulgar humor was actually one of its good points about it. Seriously, it was. It was, in terms of just a comedy for me, something just didn't click with me for some reason. It was still good, but I just find it meh for most of it. In general, not just the vulgar comedy, just in general, just felt like something was missing, and I couldn't compare. I keep comparing it towards Konosuba a lot because same author. So because of that, I'm giving it a C. It's not horrible though, definitely not. It was still funny, especially towards the later half. That's kind of why I'm giving it a C. Next up, I think killing slimes for 300 years, and I maxed my level. So this is an Aoyuki slice of life anime, and just like the title says, the main character has been killing slimes and she gets max leveled. But however, this is a slice of life anime in which the main character just wants a cushy slice of life. However, because of the main fact that she's max level in the starter village, you can kind of see how some of the characters sort of gravitate towards her, and you can see how that gives her problems. But more or less, the entire theming of I've been killing slimes for 300 years is because, you know, she doesn't want to overwork herself, because in her previous life she overworked herself to death, and therefore that's why she got into an isekai world. Also, main character voiced by Aoyuki was a plus, so yes. Actually, because of that, I might put that as an A. Speaking of slice of lives, we've got the slice of life version of Tensura and Tensura Nikki. I don't really need to say much about this one. It's just a slice of life stories of Tensura, and yeah, it was actually pretty funny most of the time. Actually, because of that, I might put that. Actually, no, I'm putting it as a B because Slime was actually kind of funnier, in my opinion. Tensura was still funny though. I'll give it that. Next up, Fruits Basket finale. Easy, yes, because there was one little thing I'll say in terms of a detriment, that is that, like, the later half was kind of rushed, but for what it's worth, in terms of resolution towards every single character that was built up from like the first season of this remake, was done absolutely well. Like 100% gave us resolutions towards every single character, gave us the future towards many of the main characters. It was very, very good. Not to mention, we kind of, like, it gave us some sympathy for the villain of the entire anime, and it did it well. Like, it's pretty much saying that all humans are good. Like, all humans can be good, can be evil, but can be both. Like, misunderstandings, all that kind of stuff. The Fruits Basket finale, it was really good in terms of resolution. Absolutely. Tiny bit rushed, but in terms of resolution towards every single character, absolute gold. So easy yes for that. Next up would be I Don't Want to Lose. What was it? I always forget the title of this one because it's so long. I Don't Want to Lose Childhood Friend Love Comedy. I think you guys know about this one. Essentially, the childhood friend doesn't want to lose, but the main character has a harem. But at the same time, here is the grander scale towards all this. It's the fact that the main character is an actor, a child actor, that retired, and then obviously he has a harem of girls that obviously liked him, maybe like as a childhood friend, as an actor, or like a colleague, and through all that, they are vying for, you know, best girl and everything. But behind the scenes, some of the background characters, let's say, are scheming a lot of the time, and both of those dynamics actually works off because obviously with the main cast, it's playing on the entire harem aspect. On the other side, the background thing is giving us a bit of a plot twist towards who the main mastermind is throughout this entire thing. However, it gave us a harem ending. And even though the title is, you know, the childhood friend doesn't want to lose, or won't lose, it gave us a harem ending. Although it's implied that the childhood friend kinda won. But it's never properly implied that she won. So I call that a harem ending. Unfortunate. Therefore, I give it a B. It was actually, in terms of comparing love comedy to Combatants Must Be Dispatched, I actually kind of like love comedy a little bit more, oddly enough. I don't know why, but it's why it's in B. Next up, Eden Zero. I can't really say much about this except the synopsis, because this is obviously penned by the same author as Fairy Tail, Hiro Mashima. But let's just say that Eden Zero has tons of Fairy Tail references and cameos, by the way. But the characters are similar towards the main Fairy Tail cast, but they're completely different characters. The setting is completely different because instead of just, you know, a magic world, it's a magic universe. And the main cast is trying to find Mother. And there's something odd about the main character, Shiki. So I can't go into much because it goes into both spoilers and we don't know what's going on at the moment. So for what it's worth, it's still a fun ride. It's still a fun ride. And it's very Hiro Mashima. Again, it has stylings. Absolutely. A. Next up, the Saint's power is omnipotent. So this is a reverse harem isekai. And I very much liked it, actually. It goes A. Because, let's just say that the main character who got isekai, she wasn't the only one. And let's just say that the person who cast the isekai spell picked the other character, saying that, oh, she's the saint. Not really, because the main character, like the title implies, her power is omnipotent, therefore makes her the saint. However, it works around the entire white mage logic. In other words, she's skilled at healing. And because of that, you can kind of see why I kind of like this because of this. And it's the main it's the main character, but it's also the other isekai character that was very interesting. Not to mention, build up the entire world. I liked it. I really like this reverse harem isekai, without a doubt. Not to mention, the main character is actually voiced by Yui Ishikawa, you know, Misaka Akaman from Attack on Titan. So, definite plus for me. Next up, SSS Dynazenon. So, excuse me again. So, this is a spin-off from SSS Gridman, in which completely new cast of characters. There is 2 cameos from SSS Gridman, and well, it's the typical mecha versus kaiju action with character development from the main cast. For me, my favorite characters were Yume and Mujina, and I think kind of know why because of it. It was very SSS Gridman, just with a different skin. I liked the entire anime. Let's just say it that. And in terms of an ending, yeah, it resolved it, but for some reason I want to give it an S, but I think A is actually decent enough. I don't know why. I actually don't know why, but it's still good. SS Stones in is still a good watch, definitely. Next up, another A. There was a lot of good animes this season. Super Cub, which is, in my opinion, tied with I've Been Killing Slimes for 300 Years as the better. Sorry, not the better. As one of the better slice of life animes for spring 2021. So Super Cub, I'm just gonna say it like TLDR. It's about a girl who buys a Super Cub, which is just a motorcycle, and her entire life changes. Yeah, that's it. It is. We mainly sympathize with the main character because she starts off with nothing. She has no parents, no nothing, and she's struggling with life. But it wasn't until she got the Super Cub, she got friends, she likes life more or less, and she grows into her own character. She was actually at first like a very shy character. She ends up being very snarky towards the end, I'm not gonna lie, and I actually really like that because of that. It's a different kind of slice of life, not so much comedy as like pure slice of life. And because of that, yeah, I'm giving it one of the best slice of life animes for spring 2021. Alright, next up is The World Ends With You anime adaptation. This was actually pretty good. And for, for what the video game anime curse is, World Ends With You doesn't have it. Because it tells us the game's story, more or less. Like, obviously it can't push in how many hours of The World Ends With You story has from all the main story and extras, but for what the main game story gives us in developing all the characters, it gave us everything. And in my opinion, that was actually pretty good. It gave us from start to end, gave us character development towards most of the characters, because this game / anime does have a tendency to kill its characters. I can't go without saying that because it happens. But for what it's worth, the character development towards the main cast was very good, and because of that, it actually dodged the video game anime curse. All right. Aoyuki Isekai anime that's still continuing on, so am I Spider, so what? Is actually... Okay, I'll say this much. It was still good, but it felt like, because there were two storylines juggling each other, the one with the Aoyuki Spider and one with the hero, like, I get it. I get the entire storyline was the fact that both storylines bumped into each other and clashed with each other to the point that it caused trouble for each of these storylines. Not in like the meta sense, in like directly these storylines clashed to the point that they sabotaged one another. To be precise, the Aoyuki Spider sabotaged the hero's storyline a lot, and a lot of the focus was taken away from Aoyuki Spider, but it gave us a bit of world building, even though I wanted to see more of Aoyuki Spider. And we got to see more of the world, we got to see Aoyuki Spider's perspective and everything, and the fact that she finally got out of the cave. But it just felt like there was a bit of too much clashing to the point that something was lacking. And it wasn't just the CGI, although the CGI was used excessively a lot in the later half to the point it was blatant, but for what it was worth, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad by the end, so therefore I'm giving it a B. Okay, lastly is Zombieland Saga R, the sequel to Zombieland Saga, and it's an easy S because this sequel gave us more development towards Franchise members, like almost all of them, including Yugiri's, finally, and it gave us the theme of revenge as well as trying to restore Saga no matter what, which is Kotaro's main goal. And towards the climax, towards the ending of it, they did it. They resolved everything, gave us cameos towards both the first season as well as the season in question. It was very good. It was very good by the end of it. I will say, like, just a little bit. I wish we got a little bit more towards Yigiri's backstory, but for what we got, it was decent and it connected towards the theme of revenge and wanting to revive Saga. All in all, Zombieland Saga R was very good, to the point of S rank. So, you can kind of see that there were no bad animes that I watched this season. At best, it was meh, which was Combatants Must Be Dispatched as a C rank. But for what it's worth, I didn't watch that much this season, but still, most of them were pretty good. So I think I'll leave it off with comment below which animes you've watched and which did you think were the best of spring 2021. And I think with that, I'll see you next season for summer 2021's tier list for anime that I've watched. Until next time, LA out.